Reverie 2.0 by Allston James, a short play for a stage or screen. Harold hurriedly enters wearing a raincoat and carrying a black umbrella. He grabs Chrome pole. We are on a city bus. Maureen is sitting in chair. She is reading a book. Harold lurches, nearly losing balance.
Jesus, did you do that on purpose? Aren't you supposed to be going west? Jeez, real piece of work treating the public like that, and on a day like this. He's turning. Hey, you're going east, not west.
Harold makes his way downstage toward front of bus.
Hey, there's no damn driver here. Hey, there's no driver, what the hell? Stop!
Harold staggers violently, grabbing the pole as bus again lurches.
It is required that you announce your destination. I do admire your style on the pole.
Announce my destination to whom? Where's the driver? Well, are you insane? There's nobody driving this freaking bus. Or is this a hook and ladder and he's in the bloody ass end? This is insane. Stop the bus, damn you. Stop the bus.
I'd suggest you enunciate your destination clearly. Otherwise, who knows? You do realize that you're shouting in an empty seat, don't you?
And just who might you be?
Me? I'm just a passenger. You know, it makes perfect sense when you stop and consider. It's perfectly logical that there's no driver. A bloke on TV last week, his car took him and his family all the way to Glasgow without a driver. Or was it Liverpool? I think they were in a Hyundai that had been fitted out special. There's no stopping progress, is there? Try and you'll just end up as roadkill.
Hell, I'm getting off. Axminster. I should have taken a goddamn cab.
Oh, pity. I think we may have, yes, we seem to have passed Axminster Road already.
Next stop. I want to get off at the next stop.
Like I said, darling, full address. Let's see, Axminster. Yes, well, Google Earth says we definitely passed it back there. Funny, it only reads Axminster on Google. There's no road. Looks like we're almost to Linden Circle. We seem to be hitting the lights just right.
What is the next stop? I'm not a bus regular. I usually ride the underground. Of course, the line is all screwed up with maintenance. Nice scheduling, city fathers.
Have you ever actually seen a driver on a tube?
Of course I have. When it comes into the station, he's right there, right up front. You might only see him for a moment, but by God, the driver is there. Uniformed and all.
And the driver? Always a he, is it? Are you sure you're looking at an actual driver? Actually, I think the subway may have been on autopilot for years. The driver is most likely there for show. Perhaps a thespian of some sort. My cousin Clara suspects they may be keeping them in place as transitional reassurance.
Transitional reassurance? What are you doing with your phone? Looks like you're knitting.
Maureen's thumbs are texting in overdrive.
Clara thinks they may be providing us reassurance until we can comfortably accept that there is no longer an actual driver. But, and I tend to agree, they're being phased out altogether, obviously. I suppose we will all have to, what is it the kids say? Get a grip?
Well, how about dispatching thespians from the National for reassurance here?
Oh, that ship has sailed, sunshine. That ship has sailed. This transport has no driver. Maybe others still do. But it's this bus that you are on at the moment, Harold.
Harold? How do you know my name? Let's stop the bus. For the love of God, stop this bus. Whoever's not driving this bus, please stop. Please just stop. Please make it not go anymore.
Harold collapses to floor.
You don't recognize me, do you? Am I a friend? Am I an enemy? Perhaps both.
How could I recognize you? I've never seen you before in my life.
Not even in the subway? I've seen you there. Union Square, was it? No, maybe 28th. And at work, of course.
At work? What are you, stalking me?
Stalking? No, just keeping track. Information Technology Services Department, ring any bells?
You work in IT.
Recognize the logo? I just sent it to you.
Omnitrix Enterprises. You work at Omnitrix? How? How did you do that?
Oh, darling, you have no idea what we are capable of these days. Did you know that when NASA sent those guys to the moon, they required 11 separate buildings stuffed with mainframe computers? And today, the entire show could be orchestrated soup to nuts on any bottom-of-the-line laptop from Costco or Target. That's power, Harold. Real power. In fact, I have an associate who works tech in the UK for P&O. You know, the ferry service from England to Belgium? And she says she can manage all of the onboard navigational systems between Zeebrugge and Hull from her iPad. Imagine controlling ships like that, even from a bus if she had to.
I demand you tell me. How did you call me just now? How do you even know my name? How the hell do you do it? You're saying you work at Omnitrix.
You're not paying attention, Harold. Yes, you must have seen me at work. In fact, I'm quite sure of the fact. Omnitrix Enterprises, where you manage people.
Right. Of course, I manage a staff. A senior manager, as a matter of fact. 11 years with the company. Am I to understand that you are actually employed there? You work in the information technology department at Omnitrix?
Yes, information technology support. I did work there, or I did until recently.
All right. Yes. Okay. Now I recognize. Yes. Information technology. I may have seen you in passing, in a hallway or elevator.
It was a good job until I was made redundant.
Bad luck. It happens.
Does it? Doesn't seem to happen to managers so much. Well,
listen, you have to understand, the company had to make some hard decisions last quarter. Our overseas operations are experiencing market pressures. And Brexit.
Exit.
You've never had to deal with stockholders. And it's only going to get worse. As if you need to be told. You've no right to do what you did with your phone, hacking into mine. No right at all.
The bus lurches to a stop, causing Harold to suddenly lose balance and fall to stage. He lies there, tentatively looks around, then begins crawling on his belly towards the front of the bus. Just as he rises, the bus lurches again, on its way again, causing Harold to again fall to floors.
Harold, perhaps you recognize this as well.
The photo, it's not quite in focus.
Well, I think it is focused enough, actually. And yes, scrolling down a bit, yes, there. Can you make out the caption?
What's this? Jesus, that photo and that caption were intended as a private message. A private message between friends.
Friends.
Yes. Privacy. Friends. Maybe you don't have any.
That's me in the photograph, isn't it? Sitting on a bench in the park by the river. Beautiful late spring day. Just look at those magnificent oak leaves. Large as desert plates. Quite stunning. I'm enjoying a sandwich. It is Tuesday, I'm guessing. You took that picture of me, didn't you, Harold?
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I have no idea.
But it is in your cell phone's photo files, isn't it?
Listen, whoever you are, I'd say you've broken some serious laws, Miss
Maureen. Let's leave it at that, shall we? So yes, a lovely image. And then there's the text below it.
Like I said, it was intended as a private communication. Just a private reverie.
Did you say reverie? Your reverie? Should I read it aloud? Rory, here's the one I told you about. The Quim at work. Twice in a month in his supplies room closet. Can you believe it? Twice. Who knew Omnitrix offered such benefits?
I've never quite trusted you people in technology.
Oh, twice in a month in his supply room. Can you believe it? Twice. Quim. What a curious word choice you make there. It sounds British. Why not? Well, why not minge, flange, pussy, clunge, slit, coos? Or perhaps axe wound, or gash, or go all in. The C word? Quim. So 18th century, almost literary. Makes sense, I guess. Your Lawrenceville and Dartmouth peeking through.
I demand you delete that right now, this instant.
Yes, here it is. The English Dialect Dictionary has a citation of quim and cosh from 1723, which it glosses as intimate and familiar and quaint. Derivation from the Welsh CWM, hollow, is sometimes suggested, but the OED notes that this is, quote, unlikely on both semantic and phonological grounds.
It was misguided admiration.
Misguided admiration? You think? Was it a reverie or a missile test? Well, if you want to start with that trajectory, let me show you just how misguided your admiration was.
Maureen begins being mobile.
Now, what do you say? I enjoying the fun. See, the thing is, Harold, quim is actually always in the eye of the beholder. Why? Here, why don't you take a quick look at another image? Here, I sent it to you just now. Got it? Recognize anyone there in the photo? Hair is a bit shorter, neat part on the left, complexion a shade ruddier. Clothing obviously different. On a love seat at a dinner party in Chelsea, as I recall.
It's a man, this picture. Well, why are you sending me this? Who is this? Is this you?
Well, truthfully, let's say it was me. A different time, different place. It was a good while before I came to Omnitrix. You are looking at Martin. A nice, decent fellow, but so very unhappy.
You? Are this man?
Are you beginning to get your head around the situation here, Harold? You know, it's a pity. I might have very well regarded your taking my picture in the park as flattery of a sort. However, there is a matter of that caption accompanying your photo, isn't there? Your reverie. Well, in the spirit of enjoining you in your admiration, this lovely picture of me taking the air on a park bench.
Harold deduces that she is about to send the photo over the web and grabs for her phone.
Stop! I demand you stop this instant.
He makes lunge for her phone, but misses, and Maureen deftly sets the end of her umbrella against Harold's sternum and pushes it, causing him to fall. Maureen leans forward and holds out her phone to Harold's midriff.
Take a close look at the edge of this phone, Harold. Yep, that's a razor blade. I don't think you want to take this physical. If you do, I promise you'll have more to lose in your reputation. First, you wanted the bus to stop, and now you want what? Now you want your reverie to stop. Just like that. Well, I'm afraid that's no longer an option, Harold. You see, your reverie is poised to go out to all users at Omnitrix. That's what? 1,226 persons? Mustn't admit the offices in Chicago and Atlanta. Oh yes, and London.
If you do this, it will ruin me, you bitch. I have twin daughters, for God's sakes. You're insane. Who's to say you didn't make this entire thing up? Who will believe you? You're going to hear from my goddamn lawyer.
Oh, well, we certainly do not want to leave him out of the loop. Here we are. Alex Rosen at Rosen, Kingford, and Weinberg.
Pushes send.
You have no proof this came from my phone.
Proof? All texts carry an embedded code, Harold. In IT, it's referred to as the OPM, Origin Point Messenger. Texts call it OP-MES for short. Think of it as the headwaters of a grand river from whence all language flows. Information is much like water, isn't it? Or like a thunderbolt's electricity. It goes where it wants to go. So yes, you have your very own OPM, Harold. Funny, 0 PM doesn't quite have the ring of MBA, does it? Twin daughters. It's never too early to learn the truth, Daddy. There, off it goes. Subject line, twice had closeted quim. I surprised myself, a bit of poesy. Not quite iambic pentameter, but still poetry. Twice had closeted quim.
You're not exactly doing your own reputation any favors here.
Oh, that's not really a concern of mine, Harold. You see, my friends know who I am. They know what I am. And now everyone will learn who you are and what you are. Riverside Drive, please.
She makes her way, handbag on arm, toward the exit, stepping over Harold.
On occasion, but only on occasion, you will find this bus does make its stops. It just requires, shall we say, a modicum of consideration. Thank you.
Maureen smiles and turns as she completes her exit.
But then again, it might just never stop. It may behave like information and go on and on, forever and a day.
Strobe light and thunder. Lights down. End.